Greetings, YouTube. So today, once again, we're looking at another Mezco Toys release. This is the Mezco 112 Collective Inhumans 2-pack Lockjaw and Black Bolt. So let's take a look at this set. So taking a look at the front of the package, the presentation is very awesome here. We have a picture of Lockjaw and Black Bolt, the king of the Inhumans. You got the Inhumans across the bottom here. This is all Jack Kirby spectacular goodness. You can tell it is Jack Kirby's classic art. It's got the Kirby crackle going all over the place. Top of the box, you have some more Kirby goodness. All right, let's take a look at the figures. All right, so as customary with Mezco releases, you get a very elaborate packaging ensemble. So for Black Bolt, you get this multi-layered clamshell that has the figure and his hands and his alternate portrait. Then you get a stand under that, along with an effect for his speaking slash powers, which that looks good. And then there's also the customary stand and the baggie. And there also is, if you see here, there's some batteries. And those do not go to Black Bolt, but they go to Lockjaw, which we'll get to here in a second. And then you also have, obviously, the figure, and he looks great. And then this big, spongy prison is holding Lockjaw. So we will first go over Black Bolt. To be honest, Black Bolt is awesome, but he's the co-star of this show. Lockjaw is the star. So we'll talk about Lockjaw after we talk about Black Bolt. Okay, for the uninitiated who may not be familiar with the Inhumans with Black Bolt, the Inhumans are an ancient race of forerunners to Homo sapiens. As the lore goes, they were experimented on. There were some ancient human ancestors who were experimented on by either Kree or Celestials, and they developed a highly advanced civilization. They developed, superpowers in various kind of degrees. The way that they manifest their superpowers is they are exposed to something called Terrigen mists, and those Terrigen mists either unlock potential in their DNA and give them superpowers, or it may kill them. And whoever is exposed and has the right genetics, they develop superpowers, and you go on to live a life in, the city of Atalon or Atalon. And that is the Inhumans, basically. They are very secretive. They are very reclusive. They do not fraternize with modern human beings. They actually see themselves as above modern human beings. They try to stay away from us at all times, which I guess I can't really argue with. So Black Bolt here, or Blackagar Boltagon, that is his given name, shortened to Black Bolt, is the king of the Inhumans. He has he has multiple superpowers, but his biggest one is that his voice is so powerful that he really can't speak, because the slightest whisper from him would destroy a building or kill people or knock down a facility. So he's literally silent. It isn't that he can't talk, is that he chooses not to, because when he was younger and he did talk, it caused major issues. But he is also super powerful as far as like strength. He can fly. He's cool. So let's have a look at the figure here. So Black Bolt here is very, very well done. And it's funny because he's kind of the afterthought in this set, to be honest. Most people probably bought this set to get Lockjaw. But this Black Bolt is very well done. He is awesome looking. His suit is spectacular. It is crisp. It is clean. When you put his arms up, he has these wings that connect to his arms and sides, and they open up just like they do in the comic books and the cartoons. He's got a beautiful mix of fabric and then shiny kind of armor plating or kind of leather plating, and then the line work, and then shiny plastic for his knee pads and his boots, and then there's like a mix of matte and shiny on the boots. I mean, he is very well done. Like, if he was a single release, he would be like a great star of a release. It's almost a shame that he is overshadowed by a big old dog. But yeah, this Black Bolt is spectacular. It's very good. Awesome. Mezco once again has outdone themselves. Okay, so enough of me gushing about Black Bolt. So he does not come with a ton of accessories because he does not need a ton of accessories. He's a powerhouse. So he comes with a bunch of hands. Well, I guess a bunch is probably a strong word. He comes with 6 extra hands. And then he also comes with this alternate head, which is him when he's letting loose completely and screaming or saying something, and all the power is coming out of him. And if he's got his mouth open like that and he's talking, he's leveling a city. That's how powerful he is. Excellent sculpt. And then you got the power effect coming from the head, and you got the blue mouth. All right, so now to talk about his last accessory, which I actually have a bit of a complaint about. It's not really, I don't know. I think they could have did a little bit better when they thought about this one. So this is his kind of voice effect, like if he's using his voice and saying something and it's going all out there and booming away, which it's nice. But you see this little hole here. This is so that you can hook up this extra stand to his voice thing, his voice effect, and then like put it in front of his mouth. And that seems a bit silly. Like, you don't want a stand holding up an effect. There should have been some way to hook this up into his alternate head sculpt. Like, it should have been able to somehow hook in there, whether it was a peg or a magnet or something. This is how it should have been, not with a stand. A stand is ridiculous. So basically that means that this will probably never get used, and that's a shame because it's cool, but I don't like the execution of it. All right, so as I showed you before, Lockjaw comes in this spongy protective case. So let's go ahead and show him off. We'll move this out of the way. And then, where's he at? Lockjaw. Come on, boy. Lockjaw. Come on. Oh, there we go. There's a good boy. There's a good boy. Yes, I'm petting a plastic dog. So this is Lockjaw. So if you're not familiar with Lockjaw, which I admit some people may not be, he is the family pet of the royal family of the Inhumans. And he has the power of teleportation. And oftentimes the Inhumans will travel around the world or around wherever they're going via Lockjaw. And he will teleport as many people as he can to wherever you want to go. And he's a huge, huge dog. Like as big as a bear with a big old head dog. So the cool thing about this Mezco version is he does have a light up feature, which you can probably see here. And let me turn off some lights so you can see this a little bit better. So his eyes and his little crown slash, I don't even know what to call this. He has like a contraption connected to his forehead, and oftentimes it will glow when he's about to teleport. So very cool, very cool. And the awesome thing was that the batteries actually came with the figure, so I didn't have to go looking around for these tiny little watch batteries. So having a look at Lockjaw here, and he's heavy, to be perfectly honest. This dude has to be at least 4 or 5 pounds by himself. Like, he's really, really big, really heavy, really sturdy. He is articulated. His legs can move. His body can move. As far as like his torso, he's got a torso twist. His back legs can move. His front legs can move. I mean, he isn't, super articulated, but he can move pretty good. His head can turn. And just to show you real quick, take the head off. This is where the batteries go, and this is where the switch is. You turn that off. He's no longer glowing, and now you can really see that contraption on his forehead. Beautiful work. Turn this light back on. So, beautiful sculpt work here. Look at his eyes. His nose is like a shiny kind of wet look. His eyes also have a shiny look. Very, very cool. Looks exactly like the comic book representation. He is the star of this pack. As cool as Black Bolt is, and Black Bolt is actually a very, very good Mezco figure. Like, he's awesome looking. This is a top-notch Mezco figure, to be honest. But Lockjaw is the star of the show. So, very cool. I am very happy to have this in my collection. Here we have the Marvel Legends version of Black Bolt, and he was good for his time, and he's still a pretty good action figure. The problem with him is that, because he is a regular release $20 figure, they couldn't do a whole lot with the wings under the arms. So they only look good in certain poses. Like in this pose, they look great. They look perfect. But when he puts his arms down and he's, talking to his wife or the Inhuman family, he has these wings sticking out of his arms. It looks kind of silly. But this was not a bad figure. I actually had this figure on my shelf since I got it. But as you can see, this figure is leaps and bounds better. But again, you really can't compare it. This is if you divide the price here, let's say Lockjaw is $80, that would make this Black Bolt $50 or $60. So this is a $20 figure. So hard to really compare, but there's no denying that this is much better. Okay, so we will run through a few Mezco comparisons here. Here is Doc Nocturno with Lockjaw and Black Bolt. Then we have here the 2 Supreme Knight Batmen that I own. And here they are with the 80th anniversary Captain America Marvel Legends. And here we have Black Bolt with the original Illuminati. We got Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Black Bolt, Namor the Submariner, and Professor X. If you haven't read those stories, I suggest you check those ones out. Okay, so final thoughts on this set. It's a winner. It is kind of expensive, but if you look at what you're getting for what the price is, it's about on par. Because I know mine was, $130, and you're getting a huge, heavy, light up dog and a very, very good Mezco figure with an okay amount of accessories. That works out to about $65 or $70 a piece. That's cheap for a Mezco figure, honestly. So it's really not as bad as it looks as far as price goes. But there is the fact that it's that much, and Black Bolt isn't a top tier character. I mean, in terms of his actual mythos and lore, he is, but as far as popularity, he's not, in that top tier, so you may not want to pay that much for a figure you don't really have an attachment to. I can completely understand that. But us old school Marvel heads, we know about Black Bolt, so I'm happy to have him. And especially happy to have Lockjaw. So, rate, comment, like, subscribe, and until next time, see you later.